Hello everyone. I, Varun Agarwal, welcome you all to another webinar organized by ETCIO in partnership with Tata Communications and Cisco. Today's topic of discussion is connecting teams together across borders securely. The session will be for 1 hour, and in between, feel free to post your questions to our speakers in the chat window. We'll take them up post the presentation. Now, without further ado, let me introduce today's speakers who will help you understand how you can deploy a safe communications platform for your enterprise. We have with us Javelin S. He's the business head, UC and mobility at Tata Communications. And we have Pankaj Agarwal, who's the head for collaboration business, India and SARC at Cisco. So let's jump right into the discussion with Jay. Jay, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for your presence here during your busy schedule. I have to say this because work from home is really taking more working hours than our normal standard working hours per day, right? On behalf of Tata Communications, I welcome you all for this webinar subjected connecting teams together across borders securely by enabling gold standard Cisco collaboration experiences on a global scale. Along with me, as got introduced, we have Mr. Agarwal, collaboration business for India and SAARC region from Cisco, our collaborations partner in India and global market. Before I start, a small disclaimer. For some reason, my home broadband fluctuates abnormally. I'll go on video, but the presentations will continue. Today, we are all in the hands of business and economies around the globe are forced to follow the new normal, right? On a lighter note, we'd have seen on WhatsApp that who played a critical role of digital transformation in your organization. Is it CTO, CFO, or COVID-19, right? I think individually we have done a PhD on COVID as per the experience that we have gone through so far. To my perspective, what I think it is inevitable for any business not to ignore the COVID-19, the global pandemic, be it on any scale. Right. So, in a recent survey from Gartner, there are few interesting points or factors come out. Globally, this survey has been done during the COVID phase period, and based on this survey, what we've seen is that except few industries, most of the industries short-term and long-term technology investment has negatively impacted. So that's the first data points. You can go through any industries, and it's our understanding as well, right? So be it insurance, travel and hospitality, manufacturing, retail, transportation, banking, and so on and so forth, right? So all the industries got impacted on COVID-19. The other side, the cloud conferencing has been rapidly growing, and it is because the organization has to enable the BCP and work from home facility for the employees, considering the employee welfare and health and safety. The cloud conferencing has actually picked up very rapidly. The third data points is actually says that the business as usual, right? The business as usual has largely impacted. Be it customer availability, client availability, or the employee productivity. Today, this is the data. As per the data, if you're actually looking at what is that enterprises globally currently experiencing and what is expected to begin experiencing within next 3 months and after 3 months and beyond that, right? If you are actually looking at the data, enterprises globally are suffering, are currently experiencing the access to the prospects and the clients, which is about 67%. I think most of you can relate to this because the access to our client base or a prospect base is heavily reduced. Same is with the case of productivity of an employee, right? Employees today, without much access to the regular BAU stuff, the productivity of an employee has actually got drastically down. There are multiple other factors like increased on IT resources, strain on IT resources, access to services, and so on and so forth. right? So these are all the impact or a few of the many impact of COVID-19. Even during our regular BAU days, right? So we face challenges towards effective UCC deployment. Challenges like vendor consolidation for a better negotiation power, or be it focus on core competency while outsourcing the rest, or be it reduce capex and move to more predictable OPEX cost. Then we have faster turnaround times in opening new offices in our new or existing geographies, or ensuring consistent user experience across organizations, or down select only regulatory compliance solutions, and so on and so forth, right? So these are all existing BAU challenges when it comes to an effective UCC deployment. So these are all the points I've just highlighted for you to understand about the current challenges that we normally face on a day in, day out. But the reality, the known reality is that no single service provider in the world can deliver the end-to-end UCC solution. Fine. Then what are the right metrics to identify the right collaboration service provider for enterprises' successful UCC deployment? Because we all know that collaboration is the key to innovation and problem solving, as we know, right? For any enterprises globally, collaboration is the key to innovation or problem solving. As per the UCAS research report done for the many years, enterprise should equally give weightages to connectivity, service management, life cycle support capabilities as well. Okay, so we discussed about the challenges. We know the right metrics that is needed for effective UCC deployment. But how come Tatacom with Cisco partnership will add value to the enterprises on their consolidation journey, right? So that's a key for anybody to look at this partnership, Tatacom and Cisco. The trend is something like this, right? Enterprises adopting the UC elements, unified communication elements, in stepwise or a modular manner in order to sweat their existing investments they made, or the mitigate risk while they are actually transforming from one solution to another solution, or during the consolidation, and they wanted to show the demonstrable benefits at each stage before investing more. They are getting clear around what and why of technology solution and everything, but they definitely need guidance on how. The how part is what we will be looking at here in detail as we progress. Also, if you look at enterprise telephone is actually shifting from facilities to IT, which is implying there is a key mindset change from tactical to strategic, right? So we've been facing this, and then as a telecom service provider, we've been experiencing these changes in a larger number of enterprises across. Vast majority of market remains premise based. COVID-19 kind of situations enforces enterprises to look out for changes in the workplace. Workplace maybe not in their offices per se, but from their work from home facilities and all that, are forcing them to adopt the cloud strategies, right? At Tata Communications, we address all this for the enterprises across globe. And we would also like to have one update sharing across all the participants on this call. Recently, during this COVID-19 phase, we have done a technology enablement during this COVID period for all our existing and new contact center customers. Contact center is, we all know that it's a DNA or a bloodline for any business customer. The enterprise has to be in touch with their customers. So if there is a challenges in customers connect, then that much is the business impact, right? So contact center is the nerve of any business. So for that operations, we have done a BCP. We have enabled a work from home features enablement with the shortest delivery timeline for them to get benefit on the business continuity side of it. Approximately about 60 plus customers, we have actually addressed and test-enabled these features. It's about 6,000 seats we have addressed so far, which means 6,000 plus contact center seats, be it for outbound or inbound, domestic or international in nature. We have enabled the work from home stroke BCP for our customers across India. We still continue this. Before we takes the update from further slides, I would request Pankaj to step in to comment on the data points from Cisco.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we are all experiencing an unprecedented situation. I'm sure none of us imagined that we will be working in this manner. Business continuity has superseded everything else to become the #1 priority for every organization. Over the last couple of months, Cisco WebEx has supported businesses in maintaining business continuity in these times of social distancing. Now, this has resulted obviously in our volume spiking up. So, for example, for India, we had over 2x month-on-month increase from Feb to March, and a similar trend likely by April end. And we've been constantly ramping up our data center capacities to handle this. There have been massive upgrades on compute, storage, networking, etc., that we have driven week on week on our data center capacities to handle. But why is this important? So I want to share with you what we are enabling through these numbers that you see on this slide. Doctors and healthcare workers, government officials, bureaucratic leaders, etc., they're all facing challenges in dealing with the current crisis. And that's related to remote work. And we are helping all of these in setting up war rooms consisting of interactive video devices and WebEx. And these are being used to drive COVID relief efforts very, very efficiently in India. A lot of examples in India, and of course, globally as well. Globally, for example, we've committed $225 million to COVID relief efforts. This includes cash donations as well as support through our solutions. And a good part of this is coming to India as well. As an interesting example, we used around 100 video conferencing devices from the Cisco offices, and we moved them to government and healthcare organizations as a donation. And of course, we've provided WebEx free to them. So now the Indian government, state ministers, police commissioners, doctors, etc., they're all using Cisco collaboration technology to connect over video to solve their problems. A couple of examples: Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, a government organization situated in the south. So they have been training healthcare workers on COVID response. As you know, there is a need for increasing the number of healthcare workers, and government wants to rapidly train more and more people to become healthcare workers on COVID relief. They trained 25,000 workers in a couple of weeks on WebEx, and this is an ongoing activity for them. And the solution that we provide to them does not only include WebEx, it's a complete solution, remote administration of support by a doctor is something that it enables. So a cart which is fitted with video devices, which can roll into a hospital ward, a doctor sitting at some other place can actually interact on video conference with a local nurse or the patient and offer advice. So these are kind of complete solutions that we are offering. So many state governments are managing police operations, which has become critical in these days. We keep reading about how police is facing challenges in ensuring that the lockdown is followed. They are tracking vegetable prices on their mandis. They are reviewing daily operations of their sub-organizations, all on Cisco platforms. You would have read about the G20 meeting, which Prime Minister Modi led, and that was also conducted on Cisco WebEx. Now, while all of this is super critical for government and healthcare organizations, the challenges faced by regular employees, me and you and our teams, are equally tough. Our solutions are helping drive a video-first culture, giving employees a sense of engagement, even though they're sitting at homes and not in office with their colleagues. And they're helping drive up employee satisfaction. We have enabled close to 1,500 organizations in India for remote working through WebEx in the last 45 days alone. That's right, 1,500 organizations. That's a big number. And this includes some of the largest banks, largest manufacturing organizations, large services organizations, unicorns, small businesses, everybody. So that's just a little bit of flavor on the numbers which have been presented on this slide. If you can move on to the next slide now. The next one, please. Okay. So we are enabling all of these physical meetings to happen on WebEx. Now, how does that impact security and privacy? Now, when you are in a closed door meeting with 5 people, let's say, you are assured of the confidentiality. But when this meeting moves to a collaboration platform, you obviously expect the same level of confidentiality, but you need to understand that everything is digital when the moving has moved to a platform. Now, what happens if a random stranger is able to join your meeting and listen in? Even worse, what happens if this person can post objectionable content when your meeting is going on? So these are a couple of aspects related to security. Of equal importance are privacy related concerns. Does someone have access to your data? Is the data being rented or sold to external organizations like Facebook? Now, I'm sure you'll agree that in the current scenario, every employee is downloading an application for remote work, including WhatsApp, for example, and exposing your organization to huge amounts of risks. Hence, it becomes extremely important for organizations to do a serious assessment of the security and privacy track record of the collaboration solutions before they choose one. Okay, and at Cisco, our guiding principle always has been collaboration without compromise. Some of you may know this, but Cisco is the world's largest security company, and we will never compromise on any security requirements. So privacy, Cisco will never rent out or sell your personal data. Encryption, Cisco provides the option to enable end-to-end encryption of data at all stages while the data is in use, it is in transit or at rest with a key that only you control. Intellectual property, Cisco processes and stores recordings, transcription, closed captioning data in-house and does not compromise your data by outsourcing it to a third party. And finally, transparency. We publicly disclose known vulnerabilities. We build products upon a secure lifecycle development cycle. And we have an independent security and trust organization which audits this entire process. So it's no surprise that we are the long-standing market leader and we are trusted by 95% of the Fortune 500 companies. Moving to the next slide. And to you, Jay.
Yeah. So thanks, Pankaj. I think it is very critical for the participants on this call, not only for the participants on this call, but also for the global enterprises to know about how critical and important security matters. So, security of any business cannot be compromised, and it is not second to any other priority, right? So thanks for highlighting that. It's more important and critical for the enterprises. Like Pankaj articulated with numbers, the biggest promise of unified communication is to remove or minimize human latency built into business process due to inefficient communications, right? So I'll just remember, it is about removing or minimizing the human latency built into our regular day-to-day business process due to inefficient communications. To put it in simple word, it is all about moving from meism to weism, right? So it's about collaboration. So we need to be group enough. We should have the right connect across the teams and geos, so that we will have the right collaboration solutions into the place, and then we'll take the right decision forwards. So it's again, it's not about meism, but it is about weism, right? So the real challenge to deliver this promises is critical for any enterprises. Looking at Tata.com, the bridge to possibility to deliver these promises lies in our network and voice chain and our global leadership. And most of us know that we are known for our global leadership on voice and network, right? Be it global cable system or our global leadership and voice, everyone knows about it. In addition to this, our strength on and global leadership, we have developed unique features through our advanced technology team to extend the one meeting experiences to the enterprises across globe. So what we are actually saying here is that there is a bridge to possible because of the capability and strength and the global leadership that Tata.com has got. And in addition, because of the research and development, the continuous and constant research and development, and the R&D that we do from our side with our advanced engineering team, we have actually enabling the one meeting experience along with our partner Cisco. So I would request Pankaj to spell about on cognitive collaborations about.
Sure, thanks, Jay. Thanks, Rajiv, for your question. Do keep posting questions. I'll try to respond as much as possible. So at Cisco, we say that we actually enable remote meetings, which are as good as face-to-face meetings and sometimes even better. And when we say making remote meetings sometimes better than face-to-face meetings, we mean doing that using artificial intelligence to drive something that we call as cognitive collaboration. So what do we mean by that? Ever been part of a meeting where there are 8 or 10 participants and you don't know one or two of them? I know I can't get a response on this platform, but I think all of us have been part of such meetings where we sometimes do not know one or two people. Now, what do we do when that happens? So one is either ask that person who he is. That could lead to a little bit of awkwardness, maybe a couple of minutes wasted, and then you move on. Or you could ignore, just go ahead with the meeting. And in these cases, sometimes that person could be an important person for you. You realize after the meeting, hey, okay, this guy was so-and-so person. I would have wanted to tailor my message to this person, so that opportunity gets lost. Not anymore. So when you are using our collaboration platform, so there are a couple of things which are incorporated to avoid situations like the one that I spoke about. So one, we have AI-based facial recognition. So you have someone on the video screen, the system is able to tell you who that person is. And now that is coupled with something that we call as people insights. So either through facial recognition or even otherwise in the list of participants where you see people, you can hover over the name of that person and you can get a lot of information about the person. So one, all of the information which is internally available, like which sub-organization within your organization that person belongs to, who does that person report to, etc., etc. So everything which is available in your internal organization directory, that is available. Second, publicly available information about that person, for example, information from LinkedIn, etc. All of that is readily available. So imagine there is a person, you don't know that person, you hover over that person's name, quickly you've got the insights in a few seconds without disrupting the meeting, and now you are in a position to tailor your message to that person. So the quality of the meeting significantly improves for you. There are a couple of other features. So I want to talk about WebEx Assistant now. So again, all of us have been part of meetings where we do a meeting and then there is a follow-up meeting after a week. And then you're thinking, hey, what was it that we had discussed last time? And what were the follow-up activities? Was there something that I was supposed to do before I get into this meeting? Right? We are worried about that. Again, now we have an AI-based assistant who can just be part of the meeting. So we are doing this meeting, for example, you can have an AI-based assistant. That assistant keeps a transcript of the entire notes. Also, you can specifically request that assistant to take down a note. So for example, right now I'm talking about something. I could say, hey, why don't you schedule a meeting between the 5 of us on this meeting for next Wednesday at 5 p.m. The WebEx assistant will schedule the meeting, and before the meeting is over, you will have a meeting invite in your inbox. And of course, the key notes that you had asked WebEx assistant to take, that will be delivered to you. So some of these things to enable that, to ensure that the quality of meeting is very, very good for you. And of course, you have a whole lot of analytics. So starting with things like how was the quality of meetings over a period of time by user? If the quality of certain meetings was bad, what was the reason for that? Was it the network at the person's end, like Jay said, he's in a poor network area, or the device quality, maybe old device, etc. So all of that information as a basic level, and then advanced information like if you have certain meeting rooms where you have devices, what is the kind of utilization? A lot of people are thinking about improving workplace productivity by redesigning offices. Do you need to have large conference rooms? But you don't have data on what is the kind of utilization of those rooms which is happening now with these meetings and these devices, which are basically sensors. You can have the data over a period of time. So a lot of rich analytics, which helps you improve your experience and also drive greater productivity through potentially an office redesign, is possible on our platforms. What do you, Jay?
Yeah, thanks, Pankaj. Because this is the difference that we can bring the difference in experiences to the end users on the conferencing and meeting, right? So yeah, so we've seen the possibilities as I and Pankaj as a client so far. Now the how part of it, right? The how part of it is that how as partners together we can enable these possibilities to the enterprises across globe. There are three major areas that we can look at. One, obviously, the global reach, then the carrier grade capabilities, and the one partner that we talk about, right? So if you're looking at the global reach about that we have from Tata Communications, the Tata Communication is known for its global own largest undersea cable system, right? So we got about 240K plus kilometer own fiber across globe, which means that be it an Atlantic route or a Pacific route, so we cover the globe on our own cable system directly. In addition to it, we got about 1,600 plus carrier partners across globes. What it means is that be it any countries across globe or any continent and or even to the city specific level, we can provide access numbers, be it toll number or a toll-free number kind of an access we can enable. And we can also use that particular country's voice infrastructure as we actually offering it from a global service, single global service provider. The capability, the size that we do is about 52 billion minutes annually on a regular basis. We have been a global #1 wholesale voice service provider for multiple years together. So that's our strength on global voice. In addition, so we can also extend about 27 countries. We can give them domestic PSTN services. What it means is that the enterprises who would like to have a domestic PRI kind of a solution, the local BSO solutions, they don't need to go to multiple vendors across each country they operate. They can look at one service provider, which is Tata Communications, who can enable about 27 plus countries PRI connectivity or domestic PSTN services directly with single contract. If you look at the schematic, the diagram, you can see there are 5 different UCaaS platforms spread across 5 different continent globally, right? Which means that there is enough resilience and redundancies already built in for the UCaaS services that we offer. So these are all the Cisco platforms. Along with Cisco, we built in this UCaaS platform in multiple regions, be it Americas, Europe, India, Singapore, Australia. So net and net, what we can do is that, so we can literally deliver in all global business locations. If the enterprises are looking for a particular delivery locations wherever the business they run globally, so all these global business locations can be connected by Tata Communications. This is the strength that we have got from the net global reach perspective. Moving further, it's about the kind of the network that we have or the voice capability that we have. It's all globally, as I said, it's about 1,600 plus carriers are in connect and we do business with them. And this carrier grade kind of capabilities actually extends any scale, any size from customer requirement perspective. Having said that, the network strength or a global network strength or a platform strength assumes the redundancy and multiple level, high availability promises through defined SLA, maybe the highest SLA at 99.9 plus per kind of a percentage. And obviously the intelligent peering that we have with 5 continent for the Cisco WebEx bridge or the Cisco platform with a QoS enabled and the artificial intelligence factors that we highlighted is collectively together, it's offering a best carrier grade solutions from Tatacom. Moving further, the one partner update. On the one partner update, maybe the Cisco update, I would request Pankaj to highlight.
Yeah, I'll just jump in for a minute here. So Tata Communications is the largest partner for Cisco for the suite of solutions for India region. They've been winning the Partner of the Year award every year. The good thing is that they focus on ensuring that their technical capabilities are always current. And the host of certifications that they keep renewing every year are a proof of that. And not surprisingly, they have the largest WebEx install base in India across all partners.
Thanks, Mangesh. So looking at for the participants on this call, so looking at both organizations, be it Tata Communications or Cisco, both are global leaders in our respective business, right? So Cisco is known for the global leadership for the collaboration business that they do, like he explained on the security side of it, and the endpoints as well. When it comes to Tata, so we all know that the capability that I explained, be it on the network side or the voice global leadership that we have got. So we both are global leaders in our respective business. This combination of this partnership definitely and 100% assures the UC promises that we discussed a while back, right? So the numbers are reflecting here is about 60 million minutes per month only on the meeting, and it's a little while back data. This has been keep increasing. So March data alone, as you heard it from Pankaj, it has actually grown 3x, 4x level, right? So that's a scale that we can operate. That's a scale we can enable from our side as an overall partnership offering. To explain this in a schematic way, at Tata Communications, we build all our unified communications portfolio on our flagship bedrock product, Global SIP Connect. So I just explained what is Global SIP Connect while back. So the Global SIP Connect is an MPLS-based SIP trunk protocol services which brings the enterprise voice to the enterprises and organizations across globe. And this coupled with the Rockstar applications and the licenses from Cisco, coupled with a collective offering, is the best solution for any enterprises in the world. So we normally call it as LANE, L-A-N-E. LANE defines that license, audio usage, network, and endpoints. Given that it's a basic understanding that license and endpoints are from Cisco, and the audio usage and the network is from Tata. Like any licenses, be it calling license or a meeting license or any further licenses on top of these are coming from Cisco, in addition to the physical hardware related to telephone or video. And then audio usage, be it PSTN or IP-based audio connectivity, along with the connectivity between the enterprises and network goes from Tata Communication. As depicted here, the setup can be any, right? So it can be fully cloud or a private hosted model, or it can be hybrid of this. So be it any model, so we have got a solution across for any of the collaborations recommended from enterprises. Coupled with our 24/7 fully managed support, we extend real, intuitive, and better meetings for the enterprises across. Like we just briefed, our Cisco UCaaS offerings from enterprises perspective addresses the following three space, namely WebEx meetings, WebEx calling, and WebEx devices. So I would request Pankaj to step in to carry on the next three slides on WebEx meetings and callings and devices.
Okay, thanks. So essentially on meetings, we focus on providing a unified platform for audio, video, and web conferencing. And we find that typically as organizations are scaling up, that's the challenge that they have. They have disparate systems. One system does not talk to the other. They have devices which can only be used for certain applications. So the kind of simplicity and uniformity of solution that we provide, any device could be used for audio, video, web conferencing. That is something which is perceived to be the highest value by our customers. And that's also something which is unique to us. And again, we focus on superior user experience, including simplicity of scheduling the meeting, simplicity of joining the meeting, and the actual meeting experience. We support a wide variety of devices from which to join these meetings. And we have advanced AI-based features, including AI-based noise detection and suppression, AI-based facial recognition that I spoke about, assistant, etc. So that's really the value proposition of our meeting solution. And Tata Communications complements our world-class solution by providing their high-quality global SIP connectivity. So moving on to the next slide on calling. So we also offer a complete integrated audio solution, including international callback, toll-free, so that you have the complete solution available. We also provide advanced platforms for superior quality of service by providing direct connectivity from your data center to the WebEx data center, something that we call as Edge Connect. So all of that is possible, everything on the calling side. And then moving on to the devices slide. We have the richest range of video devices available in the market right now. So starting from personal video devices to devices for cabins, devices for small meeting rooms, devices for large conference rooms, and of course, the large telepresence devices, right? So the fact that the entire solution, including the software and devices, work seamlessly enables an unparalleled user experience. Over to you, Jay.
Thanks, Pankaj. Yeah, so I think we have seen enough brief update about the capabilities from both of us, myself and Pankaj. But how do we demonstrate these capabilities to the enterprises across, right? So to do that, we have a lot of use cases, case studies across across all industries and applications. You can relate this to your own industry applications. These are all the proven use cases which we've already delivered and installed in multiple enterprises, not only from India perspective, but also in global perspective. One of the use case, we have few use cases to discuss about, but the first use case is from Symrise, and it's a chemical manufacturing industry, from chemical manufacturing industry. So we, in fact, we've been in touch with Symrise in sometimes back, and then we realized that they have completely disconnected, disjointed collaboration solutions with them. And then they wanted to integrate all of that with a unified single solutions. They also wanted to have the same end user experience across multiple other geos they have got, which is kind of a borderless unified experience for the end users. So what we have worked along with Symrise team is that we have extended our managed hosting and video solutions to consolidate the existing disconnected, disjointed solution into one unified solutions, coupled with our integrated voice and video storage to it. So obviously the outcome, as expected by Symrise, we have actually demonstrated the integrated collaboration offering for video applications. They have got about 1,000 new users getting added in Singapore. And then not to mention that this is seamless, borderless one meeting experience across all their geographies offices. And then more importantly, this is actually aligned with their workspace transformation strategy. And as explained, this is with a single partner, which is a single contract across all locations we managed it. The next case, Pankaj will help us to understand.
Yeah, so I was busy answering questions. So this is this is evidence from a very, very large and respected IT services organization, one of the largest in the country and a bellwether. So they were facing a few challenges when they started talking to us to look at a unified collaboration platform. So they had disparate systems for audio, video, web conferencing. Some of those were on premises, some were on the cloud. Like I said, disparate, they couldn't talk to each other. Expensive, capex based purchases, even the running cost was very high. Now they were looking at something which one provided a unified experience across platforms, because they knew that was very important from a user experience an ease of use perspective, something which was easy to manage. So if a lot of that could be cloud-based, very good. They wanted to move from CapEx to OpEx, and they wanted to optimize their costs. And of course, they wanted to do all of this while remaining focused on increased employee productivity. And that's when they came to us and they moved to WebEx, and they've been a happy customer for the last couple of years, longer than that actually. And look at the scale, over 60,000 users are using it. So this is the kind of scale that Cisco and Tata Communications is able to handle. We in fact even have bigger customers, but it gives you an idea of the kind of scale that our platform is able to and ensure that they are able to work seamlessly. They recently actually conducted their quarterly press meeting on WebEx, WebEx Event Center, and so that's the kind of things that they are doing: board meetings, quarterly press events, etc. Back to you.
Thanks, Pankaj. The next case is the global largest brewing company, beverages manufacturers. We are seriously missing them during this COVID situation. So the recommend from them was like they want to sweat the existing assets. Like I explained in the previous case, they were actually having conventional video endpoints. They wanted to use that. They want to sweat the existing assets. They also put a recommended around. They wanted to tightly integrate their Sky for Business infra with this. And then they also needed a vendor consolidation in network side of it. Not to mention that improve unified user experience and adoption. And finally, they have to reduce the spend. So this coupled with multiple dimensions to the recommend. So what we have actually managed is that we've extended our managed video offerings vast, and along with that, we have actually given them the fully integration with Sky for Business, right? So the participants would like to have a seamless experience between Sky for Business and the WebEx meeting, while WebEx is the platform we've actually offered from our side. There was a single meeting or one meeting experience they've got it between these two. We call it as a dual home meeting arrangements. We enabled it. First phase is completed. It's about second phase is work in progress. A total of about 100 units are in plan. The simple, the unique feature of this delivery is that click to join experience. Just a push of a button, so they will be part of the meeting. So it's not like a conventional cumbersome activity before the video meeting. They have to stand and schedule it and manage the video session. Nothing. It's all outdated from their world experience perspective. But now it's all click to join, one button to push kind of a meeting they are actually experiencing. So that's the kind of a solution that we are given. Obviously, the benefit is that we help customer to use his existing investment without compromising the end user experience. And then primary and the most important critical aspect for customer is that they wanted to have the Sky for Business integrations, which we helped customer to achieve out of that. Few of accolades, the recognition for Tata Communications, like Pankaj explained a while back. From Cisco, we got recognized as a Cisco Collaboration Partner of the Year Award 2019, APAC, Cisco Cloud Partner Award 2015, 16, 17, and 18, and Cisco's Cloud WebEx Global Web Exceptional Service Provider Award. So these are all a couple of awards, and we have awards from Frost & Sullivan for our voice capabilities. We are unified communication service provider for consecutive year, second year in a row. Enterprise service provider for Global SIP Connect, and managed voice service provider for a couple of years together. Let me move on the fag end of this session. What we have been doing is that we've actually explained in a brief way. Now I request Pankaj to announce us the exciting offers that we planned for enterprises in India on account of COVID-19 pandemic.
Someone just asked a question, Devi Prasanna Mohanty, do you have an OpEx model? So I just replied to that this is a cloud-based service and the entire model is OpEx based. And more than that, we are offering a free trial. So even beyond OpEx, it's no expense. So no X for 90 days, followed by OpEx is a model that we are offering here. So you can go ahead with the all of the features of WebEx, or almost all of the features of WebEx for 90 days free. Try it out, and if it makes sense, you can then decide on going ahead with a commercial arrangement. And I believe Tata had promised that they're going to sweeten the deal. So, so Jay, what is it that you have?
Yeah, so thanks, Pankaj. For the customer who decide on Cisco technology during this COVID situation, Tata Communication offers two amazing WebEx devices as free of cost along with this. So that's the offer we run along with this 90 days free trial that Cisco is anyways doing it for the global larger enterprises. And for the enterprises and the participants on this call, who can reach us on multiple social media as well. We are there on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then we are available specifically on this situation initiatives. Please feel free to reach us on these social media as well. We would be more than happy to support for any of your COVID-19 situations towards collaborations or contact center solutions. And with that, thanks for patient listening. I think over back to the moderators for a Q&A session.
Thanks, Jay. I think questions have already been answered by Pankaj. He's been very actively involved in answering each and every question. So with that, I think we'll come to an end to the session since we've already taken all the questions. So thank you, panelists. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Pankaj, for your wonderful perspectives. I'm sure the freebies, the tools that you're offering would be of great value for all our listeners. So thank you so much for all the attendees for attending this webinar today.